Peace, peace, peace. What's good, fam? I want to bring you another edition of Dating Games. A Brother Speaks Up. This edition is called Dating Games. A Brother Speaks Up when they take your kindness for weakness. So this is a true story of what happened to me just earlier today. I guess I could name it two things. I could also name this one um, long distance relationships, online situationships. More, I guess, online situationships would be more apt. Now, not trying to get too deep into too many details about the situation. Still a little raw, but not really in a way. So, only a few people know this, but I've been talking to this sister since September 17th, 2019. She lived overseas. Let's just say that she lived in Africa. This was not a catfish situation at all. This was a real person. It wasn't a scammer. It wasn't, somebody that was just there trying to get a green card. It wasn't nothing like that at all. Again, as I go through this video, I'll give out certain details, but I don't want to give out too much because I'm not really trying to embarrass her or expose her per se. And, really I wanted to do this to just kind of give a little insight on how dating games work. Not just what the brothers do, but sometimes what the sisters do. And hopefully this can help some brothers that are trying to be positive and do right by the sisters. I remember I have a cousin who was really in love with this sister in another state. This was in the United States. And long story short, he gave all he could to this situation. He was really digging her, and she ended up playing him. I can't remember all the specific details, but he put his heart, his money, a lot of it on the line, and just for her to play games. And eventually, this cousin of mine ended up marrying a white woman, his brother as well. So, you love who you love. I'm not gonna get into interracial relationships, but this is my belief that he kind of just swore off black women after that. And I'm not that easy in terms of swearing off my black women. If that was the case, I would have been gone. I did most of my dirt. I'll be honest with you. I did most of my dirt in college. The dirt that I did do, and it wasn't even all that much. You can ask any girlfriend or ex-girlfriend of mine, I should say, about how I treated them, and most will say that, I was a good brother. Now, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm very giving and very kind, very thoughtful. I'm not perfect, but I've been working on myself for a long time now. And, sometimes it's like, I found that some sisters will take your kindness for weakness, or they'll take it for granted. And in this long distance online situationship, this is what I found to be true. Sister had a son, and I, developed a relationship with this young man, and I hope that we can still be in touch. I loved him like he was my own son. I don't have children. So I'm very conscious and aware of how important it is for single moms with young boys and young girls, to have a positive black male role model, father figure. My mother had that, raising me and my sister. And so I'm just trying to, pay it forward by being positive to whatever single mom I come across, whether we're in a romantic relationship or any sort of situation or not, because I do believe it takes a village to raise a child. But, when you're the type of person that's giving and giving and giving, sometimes, no matter how much that person may seem like they're thankful for it, they can take it and you for granted. And when there's no reciprocity, meaning when you give, you rarely receive anything back in return, then it's a recipe for disaster. And for me, I'm not going to sit here and just blame her for everything, because I made some mistakes as well. But, I always admitted to my mistakes. I always acknowledged my mistakes, and I always came back. It was always me when we had an argument or disagreement. It was always me that came back. It was never her. Never was she said that she was wrong about anything until I said some things. And, that was a red flag. I'm not going to sit up here and blame her for everything, but I am going to say that, I ignored a lot of red flags and let things slide. Trying to give a person space to grow is very, very important. But, when you keep giving and giving and giving, you don't receive anything in return, then that's a bad thing. Another thing that I noticed is that, it's like when I asked the sister, name some things, or you say that you love me, or that, you care for me, name some of the things that, that you like about me. And she rarely could tell me anything besides she appreciates the things that I do. Maybe that should be enough. I don't know, but I was of the mind that it seemed like she was more interested in marriage than she was me. And then, I come to find out that she's met someone who is ready for marriage right now. And it's whatever for me, because, she's in another country in Africa, and with the coronavirus, this country just opened back up a couple months ago. But my mistake was I've been sending a lot of resources and a lot of money over there to help her out with the business. And then she moved from one country to another. And the reason why I couldn't even accumulate or keep enough money is because I was sending her money and helping her out, which is interesting. And now, it's like she's with somebody that's marriage ready. So I felt like a damn fool, excuse my language, for doing all this, like I was playing myself, and the reason why I couldn't get over there is because, my resources were going to her to help her out. And then there's some other things, like the money wasn't being flipped. She had a business. She wasn't really flipping the money. Then she decided to move somewhere else that was more expensive. And when I raised concerns about this, as I'm the one that's paying for most of the bills, or at least half of the bills, like I can't even have a say without her having an attitude about it. Another red flag. So I'm going to take the L, and realize it's the karma that she has to deal with, not me. It's the future she'll have to deal with. I hope whoever she has shows her love, I hope that she's really happy. I hope that eventually I could still have a relationship with her son. Maybe even be cool with her. Maybe after a while even be cool with her. Maybe she'll pay me back. I don't know, that's not the point. The money isn't the point. It's just, how you go how you go about it. And I just find that it's just unfortunate in these times of COVID and Trump and all this madness going on with 2020, that you still have people that take you for granted, that don't have patience, that don't show really true love, and I want to just, say this to the women. It's not always the men that are playing these games. I love black women. I love all women. I love single moms, because when I see a single mom trying to make it for herself and her children, I just have a special place in my heart, as I lost my mom, in 2006. And, my stepfather, I just lost about 3 weeks ago, and he was the reason why she passed. Like, the stress of the marriage is the reason why she passed away, which is a whole nother story. But, in summary, there are people out there there are women out there that do these things to men, and I know men do these things to women. They take your kindness for weakness, or they just take you for granted when they have ulterior motives. And again, I wasn't perfect, but I was open, I was transparent. I was hustling for her all the way through this weekend, just for her to be able to, get on her feet. And in a way, I feel like I played myself. I looked over too many red flags, and here it is. So I won't put it all on her, but whoever comes into my life in the future, I'm going to make sure that there's some reciprocity there, that there is some sort of financial independence, for lack of a better term. I don't mind being a provider. I should be a provider as a man, but I would like to meet someone that has their own money, has their own career, or has at least their own passions, so they're not totally dependent on me or even have dependent on me, because I'm gonna have some red flags up myself, or my defenses up, if this sister comes in my life and she always needs help. Again, I don't mind being a provider, but at the same time, I want a woman to have her own goals, her own dreams, her own passions, her own purpose, her own, part of her own money, so she's not so dependent. Because, right now, it's still slightly raw, but I don't want to get used for my money. I don't want to get, taken for granted. And some women will do this. Once you start giving and giving and giving, and then they don't have anything in their mind and their heart or their soul to give back. They don't really, it's not in them, or they don't choose to give back or show respect or have loyalty. And, I think at the end of the day, in this situation, this sister wanted to be married more than anything else. And she was kind of, in a rush for that. Not to get a green card, not to come to America or anything else, but just, she had her own reasons. And personally, I was planning on going over there by January or February of next year, but trying to get myself more stable from everything that I gave, and trying to help her get stable. So I think it was a foolish choice on my part, because you need to have reciprocity in relationships. But at the same time, you don't just come out of the blue, tell me you need money last night, and then this morning says you don't need any money anymore, because I find out that she, has someone else, and, I can feel like whatever, but I'm not giving up on my black women. I'm not giving up on the sisters because of this situation. This is just one person. This is her own karma, and she'll have to deal with it for the rest of her life, or not. Life goes on. But I just want to say to the brothers, man, if you get messed over by a woman because you're too giving and blah, 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 take the L, but realize you can be a giving person, but you should be getting something back in return. It's called reciprocity. And anyway, I wanted to make this video at least 10 minutes long, but it's going on 14 now. So that's my situation. I'm single. I'm free. I'm not going to do any long distance situationships anymore. I am totally open to women that are trying to do things in their lives, that have an open mind, that are into physical fitness, that are spiritual, that aren't religious. That's another aspect. The last two situationships I've been in, the overly religious part is really bad when there's not spirituality behind it, which is a whole nother video. But anyway, be smart, look for reciprocity, be giving, be selfless, do all the things you need to do, but make sure that person isn't taking you for granted, isn't talking to you reckless when you fight. That was another situation. There was a lot of disrespectful talk that wasn't cool and left a bad taste in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out here grinding for you and your child, and, you talking to me He's grinding. You know, I'm being more of a father to your child than his own father. And yet, you know, you say that I'm basically not the father, which technically I'm not, and that you're a single mom. And I'm the one out here helping you the most. So, you know, I thought it'd be different because, you know, she was from Africa and different culture, raised a different way. But at the end of the day, people are people. It's all about how you raise and how you work on yourself and how you process things and all the rest of it. So it's not, you know, I'm going to get a black woman from somewhere in the world, but it's not necessarily an advantage for if a sister's born here or there. It just depends on the individual. Anyway, that's it for now. Dating games, a brother speaks up. Look for this on YouTube. Look for this on Instagram and probably Facebook. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm still trying to get to 1,000. I have about 240 more, 260 more subscribers so I can go live and do all the things that other people do. This is a long video. I hope you watch it. I hope you learn. I hope that we could move forward. I'm not mad at the sister. I don't want you brothers to be mad at the sisters. Just realize this is one individual. If it doesn't work out, and let them have that karma. Do the best you can do. Be the best you can be. Look for reciprocity in relationships. It shouldn't just be you the one that's giving. And you should be with somebody that can verbalize and actualize and show why they love you. I didn't get that, or didn't really get that enough. But anyway, I'm cool. And I just wanted to be open, transparent. And again, like, share, subscribe. Hit Mr. Samumba to find me on YouTube and help me build this content. And I'm going to be speaking more about this in other parts. Thank you guys. I know it's a long video. I love you guys. Peace.